Many of you are familiar with the word hygge. It is all over social media and here on YouTube. With people trying to Hygge-ify their life, it seems as though this trend has truly been infiltrating our lives for the last 2 to 3 years. One trend that I actually haven't seen captured yet is how to Hygge-ify your diet. And as you can see from behind me and probably from the weather outside, that it is officially fall. So as we move into this cozy season and we hunker down a bit more at home, I am salivating at bringing in all of these cozy ways to Hygge-ify our day-to-day life through comforting and nourishing seasonal foods. My first tip when it comes to Hygge-ifying our diet definitely comes down to where and how you eat. I have talked about this many times here on my channel from a nutritional standpoint. However, from a hygge standpoint, I want to break down about how important it is on where we eat and how we consume our meals. You've heard me say that eating in front of a screen, eating in front of the TV is definitely not the best way to try and break down these essential nutrients that we're getting from our food. Because if we are in a fight or flight state, whether it's something we're watching or something we see on the news, on our phone, or an email that we got that was a little bit inflammatory, if we're eating during that phase and we get that reactionary response, our digestive system actually has to shut down and pause what it's doing to respond to this other alert or this other threat that may be coming in. So when we're looking to Hygge-ify our diet, it's really important to bring this in first and foremost into where and how we eat. So I always encourage you to disconnect from technology, to sit at your table or at your countertop, preferably around people that you love, if that's possible. Definitely at dinner time, which we will talk about next, but even during lunch, to take a break, to separate yourself, maybe to turn on some calming music, make it a special occasion. And that is what's really key. If you lower the overhead lights, maybe you have some tea lights that you like to light, potentially you have some ambiance that you can bring in with your lighting. All of that kind of romanticizes the setting and therefore brings a really calming and relaxed sense to your dining experience. And when you're calm and when you're relaxed and when the nervous system is calm, it's easier for your body to break down and digest your foods. I like to bring joy into all of these small moments because these teeny tiny small moments add up day after day, week after week, and those tiny moments make up your whole entire life. It's not these big grand moments, it's the teeny tiny moments in between. So if you can bring that to your eating experience, it one will make it, of course, more enjoyable and cozy, but two, it's actually better from a nutritional and digestive standpoint for you to pull out all of the nutrients from the beautiful foods that you've prepared and that you're enjoying amongst loved ones. The second way to bring in a bit more hygge to your diet is to eat seasonally. And I mentioned this in my summer wellness video. I will link that for you up here in the cards. But similarly, in the summer, it is just bursting with bright, beautiful, and refreshing flavors. Also, it's warm outside, and I'm craving bright, beautiful, refreshing flavors now. As the season shifts, it's a little bit cooler out at the end of the day. It's starting to get dark by the time we eat dinner. I'm definitely craving heartier, more substantial foods. And if you're a member of Living Well, my membership area, where I share my weekly meal plans, then you have definitely seen and noticed this transition. And so many of you have been loving all of the beautiful fall and seasonal flavors that I've been sharing in the membership area. And it is important to me. It's important to me to bring in these beautiful fresh flavors like squash and pumpkin and root vegetables, and having all of those things, whether it's in a Dutch oven or in the crock pot, having these smells and scents, the aroma in my home is so important. Additionally, from a health standpoint for our hormones, right now is definitely our season. Sweet potatoes is one of the most nourishing foods that we can eat for our hormone health. It is full of minerals like magnesium and potassium and manganese. And sweet potatoes are something I eat all year long, but sweet potatoes and the entire squash family is definitely in season right now. And then topping that with some of these warming herbs, whether it be nutmeg or clove or cardamom, all of that beautiful flavor. I can just smell it now, but all of that beautiful flavor brings in that sense of warmth and comfort in chunky knits that's associated with Hygge and the Hygge way of living. So I think it's really important to bring in these beautiful, nourishing seasonal flavors, especially talking about it in the fall. Now, if possible, obviously this isn't realistic all of the time, but if possible, to get these foods locally is even better. When you think about it, when a carrot is picked, it's traveling anywhere from 900 to 1,500 miles wherever you are in the country. And during that time, it does begin to lose some of its nutrients. If you're able to get these locally and eat them seasonally, that's a huge win. Now, I'm realistic and I'm somebody who definitely does a lot of my grocery shopping at the grocery store versus at farmers markets. But I definitely try from May through October, when we have the farmers markets, to do as much local shopping as I possibly can. My next Hygge tip is to not plan too far in advance. Mind you, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I will link it up here in the cards, I did my fall meal prep with all of you. And I think meal prepping is still critically important, but you will notice a theme throughout all of my meal prepping videos here on my channel since I started here on YouTube. I don't plan a bunch of lunches and eat the same thing every single day. The same dinner, cook it ahead of time, have it in the containers, and eat that every single day. Some people thrive with that sort of structure. That has never been something that's truly worked for me. I tend to get sick of things, or the thought of eating that over and over again kind of gets boring. Therefore, I'm craving other foods later in the day that are less than ideal and not quite as healthy. So I think that ingredient prepping is really important. And I think it's also important to listen to your body and eat what you're craving. So I kind of do a framework. And again, just referencing the Living Well membership area, I create a framework where I'll have a dinner on Monday and Tuesday. I have a different dinner Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I have something slated for Saturday and Sunday. But so often I find we force ourselves to eat what we had originally planned on the menu versus listening to our body. And our bodies are speaking to us every day. And so if it's suddenly cold and dreary and rainy when it was supposed to be, high 60s and sunny, and now we're craving more of like a delicious pasta than we were the baked fish and baked broccoli, I think it's important to listen to our body. And obviously all of this within reason. I do think it's important to have that framework, not only for your grocery buying experience, just so that you have an idea of what's ahead and what you will be having that week for your meals. I actually did a video a few months ago. I will link that for you up in the cards. It is very thorough and very detailed. If you look at the comments, you'll see even some of my one-on-one clients who have worked with me over time still found it incredibly helpful. But I go through how I plan and I prepare all of my meal plans and how I grocery shop and prep the foods. So I think using that framework is really important. And so I've just noticed, like the other day, we originally had like a salmon and a broccoli and a salad, and suddenly it started pouring and I was like, I want my Speedy tomato pasta. Like that sounds so good to me. And I will put that recipe for you guys in the description box down below. But I was like, I'm really craving this Speedy tomato pasta. That's what's kind of resonating with me right now. I'm going to go with that. And then sure enough, the next day it was sunny and beautiful, and we made the salmon the following day. So the food will not go to waste, but I definitely encourage you to kind of Hygge-ify your diet, to listen to your body, to understand the cues and to be present and not just kind of bulldoze through these situations because of what you had in mind and what's on the menu on the refrigerator. I think that releasing some of the rigidness that we have around our diet will bring in an overall sense of hygge in general. My next tip for all the hygge vibes is to take time for coffee and for tea. When was the last time you actually sat down, read a book, listened to a podcast, did a little bit of gratitude journaling while drinking your coffee or your tea? I'll pause for a second to let you think through this. Or do you typically grab your coffee, hurry up, get ready, get changed, get the kids ready, hop in the car, off to school, off to the bus stop? How do you typically enjoy your warm beverages? So I am somebody who loves to wake up before my entire family. I always say this, I am not a morning person. That is not innate to me. However, since becoming a mom, I have forced myself to wake up earlier for that quiet time. And to me, this is so important to our overall diet and wellness routine if we're talking about Hygge-ifying this, because if you wake up slowly, you drink your lemon ginger tonic. I will link that for you guys in the description box down below. And 2 weeks ago, I did include that in a video, so I will link that up here as well. But if you wake up slowly, you drink your tonic, maybe you do some gratitude journaling, some meditation, some breath work, some prayer, then you have your coffee, potentially you read 5 to 10 pages of a book, I think I would value to say that you would have a better day. Additionally, at the end of your day, how about making a delicious cup of tea, sitting down, reading a book, kind of unwinding, getting ready for bed after a warm, cozy shower. You wrap yourself in a robe, you read your book with a cup of tea, potentially you write out your to-do list for the next day. That way when you lay down in bed, you don't have these thoughts racing through your head. You've already gotten them out on paper and you feel settled and ready to go. So I would encourage you to slow down, make time for these special moments, even if it is in a warm beverage. And that is those moments where you're really bringing hygge into your life. And obviously with all of the healing, nourishing properties and many of the teas you hear me recommend, whether it's lemon balm or tulsi or peppermint, all of my favorite teas, they do have those beautiful healing herbal benefits. So you're bringing in all of that healing in a really relaxed and inviting way. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I hope it brought in a feeling of warmth and comfort and coziness and a feeling of hygge to your life life and of course to your diet. And then let me know in the comment section down below, out of all of the tips I shared with you today, which one are you most excited to implement? I cannot wait to see. And then be sure to tag me over on Instagram as you Hygge-ify your diet. I love to see all of your recreations. And if you liked this video, you can let me know by giving it a big thumbs up. And now the subscribe button is right over here on the screen. Give that a click. That way you don't miss a single video. And I hope to see you back here next Thursday.